what's up, guys? Welcome back to Couples Chronicles. This is your boy, Lloyd.
And Afiya.
So if you don't know already, we're married, and like most married couples, we don't always agree. But we choose to live a life full of love, laughter, and
respect.
So buckle up, get your popcorn, as we tackle our chronicles for the day.
Let's do it.
All right. Want to start it off? Let me start it off, because I think this is going to be your type of topic.
Okay,
so there we go. Is makeup sex a positive outlet, or is it just masking the issue at hand?
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both. Let me hear it.
I mean, who doesn't love some good makeup sex?
I mean, you love sex regardless.
Yeah.
But
That's not fair. I'm a Scorpio. That's not fair.
Let me hear it. Let me hear the reasons on both sides.
I think it depends on if you talked about the issue prior to you having sex. I think if
you resolve the issue.
Yes, resolve the issue prior to you having sex. I think if you didn't talk about anything and then just had sex in the heat of the moment, you got nowhere and you're back to square one as soon as you both come or not.
if you both come,
you know. But I think if, you know, there was no conversation had, then you made actually no progress and it was just sex. Probably really good sex, hot, steamy, passionate sex, but still just sex.
So that was, which answer was that? That was the, because you said two sides. Because it's either both a bad thing and a good thing. So how is it a bad thing?
I think it's a bad thing if you didn't resolve anything.
Oh, didn't resolve. Okay, that was your question.
Yeah, I think it's a positive thing if you guys talked about the issue at hand, you came to some sort of resolution, and then you guys had hot, steamy, passionate, loving sex.
Arguments does heighten sex, right? You know, the woman you're and what dopamine levels go up. Men, our testosterone levels go up.
Do they really?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true, because some men. I don't think you're like that. I think some men, like, if you're not in the right mental space, like their penis won't even get up for you.
I'm very much in a female. I mean, take it this way. I'm very much a female in that way, where it's mental for me, right? So if we're arguing all the time, I'm not even thinking sex. But I think the key thing that you said, and I do agree with you, and I think that's the most important part, is if you resolved the issue. Yeah, like then you could use that energy, that dopamine, or take it out if you wanna put it in that way. And sometimes the sex is heightened. I
don't think we have makeup sex. I think we just have sex, great sex. But I don't think, because we don't really argue.
No, we don't. I mean, we argue, but
it never ends in makeup sex.
It never really ends in makeup sex.
It never ends in makeup sex.
I think you have to be careful, though, because I think couples or people get stuck. It's like it's a drug at that point. Yeah. They need the argument. So now you have women/men picking fights just so they could have makeup sex. Yeah. That's where I think the problem lies.
Yes. I agree.
And then you have to be careful, because you can get stuck in that cycle of like arguing sex, arguing sex,
and
arguing sex.
Let me just pick a fight.
A fight just so I can have some steamy makeup sex.
So I can have some great penis.
So yeah, I think that's the bad part.
That's toxic.
It is. I don't know.
That is toxic.
That's not what they call toxic penis or toxic.
First of all, if you're picking a fight just for sex, that's toxic.
I think that's what people do, and that's why they love the term or coin
makeup sex.
Makeup sex. I'm trying to think of
and there are some people that I feel like they try to, use sex to steer the argument or the resolution in their direction.
Some people, I think that's just women. Y'all think your pussy have power.
It does.
Nah, pussy power.
It does.
See, that's where fellas, that's where we messed up at. We gave the vagina too much power. Take it back, fellas. Take it back. Take it back. Take back the power.
First of all, women will say that, some of the most best penis is toxic penis. Like, that's what they say. Like, sometimes some of the men with the best penis or the best sex game, they ain't shit. So
I heard an explanation of that recently. You brought that up. Again, just a random. And the lady explained the toxic part of that, toxic dick or toxic penis, in a different way. Mm-hmm. It wasn't necessarily that the actions of the no shit man. Mm-hmm. It was more so that the penis have you acting all type of crazy ways, which makes it toxic. The penis that makes you jumping out of bushes and stalking and wondering why he ain't calling you back or texting you back. That's how she explained toxic penis.
I think more oftentimes than not, I feel like the toxicity, when it, in this particular situation, comes from the gray. I always say that. I hate the gray in relationships. It's like when you're dating, but we don't really know what we are. We're not boyfriend and girlfriend. We're just talking. There's no exclusivity. Like that gray, I feel like is when the toxicity comes in, because now you're going crazy, wondering where he at when he not texting you back, trying to figure out why he's not answering your call. And that will drive you crazy. That is the basis of toxic, toxic penis, because the sex is great. You don't want to let him go because the sex is amazing, but then you guys are not technically an item. So you can't claim him. You can't question him about his whereabouts or what he's doing, but you're going crazy. You're actually losing your mind because of it. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I would say something, but I'm not going to say it. I'm going to keep that thought to myself. But I'm really trying to think of a time that we had, if we never had makeup sex, maybe I'll pick a fight tonight.
What?
I don't know. Just, we never, I mean, I'm trying to think about it. I don't think we've ever, again, we go over these topics sometimes, or but I'm thinking about it now.
Because you're not somebody that is turned on by argument.
Yeah, I'm actually turned off. The completely opposite.
Yeah, you're
I'm
not
literally turned off. I don't even want to, if we resolve it, we could don't get me wrong. We could be arguing. We could be in a heightened situation back and forth, and we resolve it. And then we hug and kiss. Then I'm the person that releases the argument and could move forward. So we could have sex. But I'm not holding on to I want it to be resolved. I don't want to hold on to the energy of because the argument is negative, right? I don't want to hold on to that negativity. I don't see it transpiring. Although I heard it do, I don't see it transpiring into something positive, which is sex, where I want to give myself to you. Like I want it to be a free space for us. Have you ever had makeup sex?
You know what it is? I feel like at this point we've been together.
Not even with me. I'm just talking in general. I'm thinking about it in general.
I feel like we've been married couples. Please chime in, because I feel like we've been married so long that all the other penis I've had starts to become a blur. It's like I don't even remember. Like you're asking me to.
I agree with you. I can't remember. I mean, guys, I'm speaking freely, but which is respect to my wife. I don't remember none of my ex's sexual. I swear to God, I don't know. I really don't remember.
To be like a blur.
I guess that's not a bad thing. High five to forgetting our exes.
He's like years are going by. But yeah, I'm sure I have had makeup sex. I don't know. It's not coming to me right now.
I kind of feel like you have. I feel like you're the
type.
You're that type.
That's just because I'm a little kinky.
Yeah, I think you're that type. I'm sure you have. You haven't had with me because again, mostly probably my fault. But I think you're the type that was like.
Yeah.
After argument, I definitely feel like that's you.
That's always because I'm just messing with him. That's why he's saying that, guys. But anyway, moving on to the next topic.
Let us know what you guys think. I think this is gonna be cool. I know that was short, but let me know what you think. You makeup sex havers or doers.
Before we move, we're moving on to the next topic, but this is a little impromptu, but I wanted to get your opinion.
She always jump on me for doing that. Now
I know, but before
I'm scared.
I know. Okay, I wanted to get your opinion, and you guys chime in. So one of my really good friends, and we talked about this previous on the podcast about if you could still be friends with your ex with somebody that you've had sex with in the past.
That was a couple episodes ago.
Right.
Okay.
So there was a lot of mixed feelings, especially on your end, about once you've kind of had sex with somebody, you can't introduce them to your partner as a friend.
I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I kind of feel it's awkward. Like, whatever.
You feel like true friendship is platonic.
That was my word.
What are your thoughts? One of my good friends came to me recently, and she said, she's friends with her ex. This was her college sweetheart. She thought she was going to marry him, but at this point, that didn't happen. They've been moved on with each other's life, but they are great friends, very good friends, platonic friends.
Great friends.
They're friends at this point of their lives, but like I said, they were college sweethearts. So, and she did at one point think that this was the person she was going to marry. At this point in her life, time has passed. She now realizes there's nothing that she desires from this guy. Yeah, from this guy. He recently got engaged. Mm-hmm. And he invited her to the wedding. And so she says to me, Afiya, do you think I should go to the wedding or politely decline? Now, what are your thoughts?
I want to first look up, so you saw me type in, I'm trying to look up the word friend, because people throw this thing around so easily. It's almost like love. People use this word so freely. Friend is defined as a person whom one knows and with whom one has a bond of mutual affection, typically exclusive of sexual or family relations. I'm so glad it said it. This is my first time looking up the definition of friends, I promise you. And it says, let me repeat the last part, typically exclusive of sexual or family relations, right?
It also says typically.
Typically. I'm not saying that, again, you know me, you know my thought. Y'all tuned in a couple episodes ago. You could be friendly, but I don't mean your friends. Anyway, so she was this high school sweetheart. So we're talking about
College
sweetheart. So that's actually more recent. So and this is your friend. So she's what, 30? 30 years same age? So you've been 31. Out of school now. Let's say she graduated 4-year college. So that's what, 24? So 6 years ago.
Correct.
So not that far.
Right.
Not that far ago. That was just COVID. Actually, yeah, before COVID, 5 years ago was COVID. So she got engaged. She's getting married, and she invited.
No, other way around.
He got engaged, getting married, and he invited her to the wedding with no. I mean, look.
So you feel like she should go to the wedding?
Personally, I like weddings. I might go. I want to, like, we got married and I've been dying to go to everybody weddings. So everybody get married. Stop playing and get married. But, like, if I have to, okay, let me put myself in that shoe. Let me not exclude her because you have to, once you're in it, it's different. If one of my, first of all, I don't talk to none of my exes, but let's just say, if one of my exes texts me like, you showed me a different, whatever about love, and I'm just thinking I owe my growth to you, and I'm getting married. I would love for you and your wife to come. What if that was the you and your wife to come? Would I go? I probably still won't go. Yeah. Honestly, I'm just that type of.
Right. Yeah. That was my perspective. So you say you still want to go? It's
still
weird.
Won't go. I don't care to. Like, why? I'll be like, congratulations. I'll probably even send a gift just because you gave me an invite, but.
But it's like, why?
Godspeed. I wish nothing but best for you and your comedian.
When she brought it to my attention, we're obviously.
What did you tell her?
I told her I don't think she should go.
And what did she say?
She said, "Why? I don't want him. There's nothing about him that I desire."
Another question. Why? I mean, she got the invite. Why does she want to go?
Because they're good friends.
So they speak.
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's something different. Again,
they speak. They're really good friends.
That to me alone, again, that's weird to me. Yeah. Like, why am I speaking to my ex and we're good friends and I'm getting married? Does his wife know that? That they speak? She
said that she's also met the fiance at this point. And so here's my thing,
right?
And so I didn't think she should go to the wedding. I just think
not a right or wrong. It's a comfortability thing.
This wasn't just an ex, right? Like, this is an ex that she was with her entire college experience. This was an ex she saw herself.
It was just 6 years ago.
This was an ex she saw herself marrying. And as her friend, for me, I just feel like it's too close to home.
Do you feel like it's going to affect her in any way? Because she feel like she could do it with no type of feelings.
Exactly. And when I brought that to her, attention, she said no, right? She said, there's nothing, I don't want to be with him. I have no desire to be with him. There's nothing about him.
It's not going to be a moment where if anyone does not find that she cough and and then she confess her love.
I just feel like sometimes you really, and it's to be honest, right? Because I love her. And it's just like sometimes you don't know how you'll feel in that moment, right? Like, you don't know if he'll get to that altar and you really become emotional and you're realizing, like, where did those emotions come from? Because transparently, you did see yourself in that position at one point with him. You thought he was your forever person. And sometimes those feelings come up. You think, out
of respect for you, I'm not inviting my ex. If in the rarely that I ever talked to any one of my exes and we were like, I won't even say close, but I'm not even friendly with any of my exes, but we were friendly.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of disrespectful kind of way to
your new person. Yeah.
A new person, my wife to me. not just a new girlfriend or you're my wife. On our marriage day.
Yeah.
I just find it kind of
weird.
I call it a slight disrespect.
Yeah. Ooh. So now we're diving into it. Is it disrespectful to invite your ex to your wedding?
I think it is. I ain't gonna be honest, and not to the point of like. I don't think you're inviting me, so I don't think you mean ill will.
Yeah.
But I think it's disrespectful to your partner, to you guys' relationship. Like, why is your ex here? This is supposed to be celebrating with your most close family, friends.
Yeah.
Look,
why is she included in that?
Not in that. I don't care. That's just me. Again, it goes back to friends. Ex, can you be friends with your?
Yeah, that's
it's
a line to blur. I personally, like I said, I felt like she shouldn't.
That was another topic. We just added a whole new topic to the podcast.
Go
to the segment for today.
I know. You know what it is? Because as we ran in there, I was like, oh my God, I'm wanting to talk about it.
You've been wanting to talk about it? See, I didn't even know.
Yeah. And because when it came up, when she brought it to my attention, we were in a group chat. And one friend was like, yeah, if the wife don't mind and he invited you, go. And all I kept writing in the group chat was side eye. Like literally all I kept writing, every comment was side eye, side eye. And she called me and she's like, why the side eye? And I was just like, I don't think you should go. Like, I feel like you send a gift. Thank you for inviting me, thinking about me, and you move on. I just don't think it's necessary. I also think that you never really know, to your point, right? Like, moving on to your future partner. Is your future partner, the person that you're building with, going to be okay with you being friends with your ex? And we're not also just talking about
I'm sure
any ex.
I'm sure he got permission.
We're not talking about any ex.
Know,
we're talking about an
clearance.
Ex that you were with for 5 years, an ex that you were with.
I'm sure he got clearance with his wife.
Yeah.
If you said they met. So if his wife is cool with it.
She said they were cool. Hey. So now you're switching. Now you feel like it's okay for her
to go.
No,
I think it's still disrespectful.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that. I mean, that's just me. But again, this is all opinions on our side and your side and our viewer's side.
I just don't think, listen, I think
there's no right side on your side.
I don't have an issue with you being cordial with your ex, right? Like, but I think to go as far as inviting your ex to your wedding, it's just too far.
I agree.
I think at some point you do have to kind of draw boundaries. And I think that is the biggest boundary. Like, you're creating a new life with this new person. And like you said, out of respect for your new person, your new wife, your new spouse, leave this person like where they are.
The only way I see that, now we're going deep into it. We'll move on. But the only way I see that kind of happening where it's, I want to say okay, but it's more understandable for me. It's like, if y'all grew up together and y'all family were friends and y'all around, like that type of, people grew up together, their family are friends, and like you had a boyfriend or husband, and then I had a husband, and where the families are so tight knit, and it was like, we were like brother, sister, and then we got into a relationship.
I don't know if I agree with that either. I don't know if you saw the show Harlem, but I felt
that last girl.
But like in the show Harlem, the biggest way for an ex to stay in your life is through the family.
It's to play friend card?
Yeah, and not only that, but just through the family. I think when you develop a relationship with the family, and I'm not saying like cut ties, like F them.
But the families are integrated. That's what I mean.
Yes, I agree. But I think...
Like, for instance, my brother.
Yeah.
Although the family's kind of like separated for whatever reasons, but we were very like tight knit.
Yeah.
And my brother's high school sweetheart her brother was my god brother.
Yeah.
My father and her father were best friends.
Did your brother invite her?
No, hell no.
Exactly.
I mean,
did her family come to his wedding?
To be frankly,
did her family come to his wedding?
That was his only big wedding, and he didn't invite me to the next two. So I didn't even get invited. So he's not inviting anybody else, because I wasn't even invited. Yeah. Not that there was anything wrong. I love you, big bro. You watch my episodes every week. But I get it. He didn't want to have another big wedding. He just kept it courtroom or small. So I just heard he was married, and that's how I found out.
And that was that.
That was that. Anyway, let's move on.
Okay,
because that's a whole nother topic. Go number 3, rather.
Are single fathers looked at differently than single mothers, especially in the dating field?
Yes. This is one of those double standards things. Yeah. I must talk at it from two different positions. Just on general, single fathers, single mothers, and then as it pertains to relationship, right? So, unfortunately, single fathers, I won't even say unfortunately. Fortunately, single fathers are looked at as heroes. Not saying that they're not, because they're single. You know what I'm saying? They're doing their job. They're looked at as they're held as a high regard, or he's doing his thing, which he should be celebrated, right? Single mothers aren't looked at the same way.
Single mothers are looked at as damaged goods, like to some people.
Yes.
Especially in the dating
and not
scene.
only that, right? Before they looked at, it's looked at as this is what you're supposed to do, even though that's what you're supposed to. What I'm saying is that the father isn't looked at like this is what he's supposed to do. Why is he getting an applaud for taking care of his kids?
Right.
So women don't get the applaud as the men do.
Right.
And then they're looked at as
damaged goods.
Damaged goods.
I hate that. I hate that for us.
It's one of those double standards that, you have to come in with an
and don't get me wrong,
objective eye.
Right. And don't get me wrong, that's not all men. Not everybody looks at single mothers that way. But there are some men
that's going too far. I don't look at it as damaged goods. Would I date we had this conversation
we
recently. That's
did.
crazy. Like, it's always comes up that way. I would have dated someone who have about like one kid.
Yeah.
When you talk about 2 or 3, that's a family. I'm inheriting a whole
yes, you are.
A whole family.
You're a stepdaddy.
Yeah, I'm really like stepdaddy. I'm not even only, like, I could date you and you have a kid and like, cool, we whatever, whatever that dynamic is. But with 3 kids, I'm dating a family now.
Yeah.
And that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
But I couldn't do that. The comedian, Ryan, damn, I remember
I'm
his
not the
name.
man
Y'all
for
know.
you.
Yeah, Ryan was like, what you said about...
I'm not the man for you. The one you showed me?
Oh, yeah. Anyway, let's move forward. But yeah, so as it pertains to dating now, so that's something different. Just how the world, or we generally look at single fathers versus single mothers.
Yeah.
Now, as it pertains to dating now, it's a little bit different, right? I think women wouldn't cross off a guy because he has 2 or even 3 kids sometimes.
I agree.
Men,
if anything, if he's a man of stature,
it shows that he can support his kids. They're gonna praise him like, oh, he's supporting his kids, and I don't mind it. They'll give him a kid too.
Yes,
and my kid
I was
is gonna
just
be.
about to say they'll be baby mom number.
Yeah, they'll be baby number 4, and with no
problem.
So is that our problem or the female problem? Anyway, now flip the script, and now if a man, high value woman, first of all, a high value man ain't doing it. Period. Or what? Again, I hate that word. I want to say that. A man of stature. I prefer that. Let's say a man of stature, right? Whatever that means for you. Let's say a man of stature. It's no way they're touching a woman with 3 kids with a 10-foot pole. No way.
I think it depends on the woman.
Okay, you say that. And I tried to think quickly of a situation where that happened. Give me a situation where that happened.
Cardi B.
That what? The celebrities, they just be dating for dating's sake.
Cardi B.
They just be dating for dating's sake. They be flipping and flopping and switching and dipping in the same group of women and men. Like that, like
What's her name?
that's not real life. I don't think that's real life.
So celebrities are null and void.
Yeah,
they don't count.
No, you talking about rappers and athletes. Like these athletes have 7 kids.
Yeah,
it's no shortage of women. For these athletes. Right. The next person, next baby mama.
Yeah.
So that's a fake world. It's almost like people call Miami fake. That's like a fake world. It doesn't relate to the regular people. So anyway, you'll go. Sorry. Hope y'all followed me. That was a lot just now.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Sorry. I don't know, man. I feel like society, to your point, when it comes to single fathers, it's almost like they've just been waiting for the right woman to come along and play, stepmom or make their
house.
That's
what it looks like.
Right. Or make their house a home. Right.
A Hallmark movie. Like one of those. Like I've been working 10 jobs to support my 3 kids.
Yes.
And the woman is like, oh, you're such a good
You're such a great guy.
and
to your point, it makes them seem like this hero. Mm-hmm. Like, wow, you've been like
There's been multiple movies made about this. Idris Elba.
Daddy's girl.
Yep, see, the same thing, same situation.
Exactly, same situation. Hardworking man, taking care of his 3 little baby girls.
Again, it's good, but that's what you're supposed to do as a parent.
And to some regard, it's almost attractive.
See what I'm saying? This is a woman speaking.
Yeah, to some
not
regard,
attractive to me, but attractive to her.
Yeah, to some regard, it's almost like, oh, okay. Like, and I don't know. I think it's so funny. I had a friend recently who got engaged, and at one point it was just like, oh, I would never date a man with kids, and she's actually engaged to a man with 3 kids.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I want to know who this friend is afterwards.
Yeah. So it's just, I don't know if, women lower their standards, they become more understanding, or maybe it's just understanding that the older you get, the likelihood of you dating somebody that doesn't have kids or doesn't come with any type of baggage is rare. Right. So I think, especially when it comes to, dating single fathers and dating single mothers, I do think when you're coming to the dating scene, understanding they might have kids, right? And being open-minded to that. I think, to your point, most men are open-minded to, a woman having 1 child. Like, oh, okay. Not
even.
Right. I know.
A logical man, I think, is open. Yeah. Most men don't want women with kids, period.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
I think, and to your point, I think, single men that have kids, like, I don't think it matters if he has 2 kids or 3 kids.
Or 7 kids.
I think 7 kids is like, oh my God. I mean, but look at you said,
celebrities is a fake,
count. I was about to say, look at
world.
Young Jock. Young Jock already had like 8
it's
before
a fake
he met
world.
his wife.
They only care if you could take care of your kids. You could take care of me and your kids and whatever we got going on. That's the most important thing. I don't really care.
Sherelle from Rags and Riches, Riches to Wags, Wags to Riches. She got like 4, right? 3 or 4.
I don't know.
She is, but she's a celebrity, so I guess that doesn't count.
That's a fake world.
Okay.
Yeah. They got celebrities gotta, like, most of the time celebrities date people of the same stature and celebrity status. And,
so basically what I'm hearing is if you have multiple kids, be of a certain stature.
You better be rich.
Be rich,
if
be of a certain stature. So that,
if you're a woman,
if you need to move on, the doors are open for you.
So as it pertains to, well, you tackled it as it pertains to dating. You talked about it as well.
Yeah, I don't know why men look at women, with this perception of.
Do you think? Let me hear your perception of it. So you use the word damaged goods, right? Yeah. I would never use that.
I do. I genuinely feel like that's how the perception, some men.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, I don't want her. Like she's somebody's leftovers. That's sad. Like, to know that that's how, some single mothers are viewed, especially if you have 2 or more children.
So as a woman, I want to hear this, right? And because I have this, women view stuff way differently than men. So as a woman, put yourself in a man's shoe. You use the word damaged goods. So how would you view a woman? And this is coming from you. And be careful, women. Y'all counting on her right now. And it's a regular person, right? But just from your, if you met a girl in the street, and we had a bar. We always having a nice time. We meet this nice young lady next to us, and we start talking. And she said, she's divorced, not dating right now because the dating pool is crazy. I have 3 kids at home, whatever. She's not struggling because then that's the other part, right? I think it's an assumption that the woman is struggling and she needs help.
Yeah.
Let's take that away. She's a lawyer or whatever, and young lawyer. I don't want to say divorced. She's let's say 30, 33, had kids young, but she got 3 kids. She's a lawyer, got her shit together. I guess that's different. You don't view her as damaged goods then. I still don't think.
So it starts with self.
Yeah,
how you view yourself.
Yeah. I still don't think a man.
I don't
a lawyer
know.
with 3 kids. I still don't think.
I don't view single mothers. In
as
that light.
Goods.
Yeah. So I don't know why men. But
men of society.
Yes, men. I would say some men. I'm not going to say society because I feel like when some men become fathers, they realize how hard it is being a mom, and being a parent. Mm-hmm. So they look at mothers with more respect, and be like, oh my God, this is hard. You did this by yourself. You raised 3 kids by yourself. Like, this is no joke. So I do think, like, when some men step into fatherhood, it allows them to gain more respect for women, for mothers, for their mother. I don't know why, they look at some women as damaged goods or other men's leftovers. I don't know if it's just because they've been in previous relationships and it's almost like, well, he didn't want her, but I just think that's a lack of maturity in my honest opinion. I also think.
I don't know it's a maturity, man. I don't think I could date somebody with 3 kids. I don't care how good of a woman you are. Like, that's not what I want for me if it's not my kids.
Right.
Like, I don't think you're damaged. Like, I never thought of that as damaged goods.
So maybe it's just from the perspective of.
And sorry if I offend any women out there. I'm just saying that's just.
Yeah, maybe it's just from the perspective of raising another man's child, like understanding the responsibility that it takes to really, and to raise someone else's child and to financially commit to raising someone else's child. Not only just financially, but like emotionally, being physically present, like everything that embodies being a parent, like stepping into that role and acknowledging if you even want to do that. Maybe that's what, and then doing it for 3 kids. Or, however many kids, anything past 1 child. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I think society needs some healing. We got to stop viewing
some men are just
single
ignorant.
women as damaged goods, as she said.
I think some men are just ignorant. Like, I think to view, women.
Again, I've never thought that's like strong words.
It is.
Damaged goods sounds so terrible.
Because I think I've heard certain conversations with some boisterous men, and I do genuinely think they speak from a perspective of women as these leftovers once they've had a certain amount of kids. And it's crazy because if I'm a man and you have 3 kids, you're a lawyer, you're doing great for yourself. I have the utmost respect for you.
I do too.
Yeah,
I still don't want to be with you though.
Oh,
I just said that. I don't think that's just me personally
right,
though.
But is that because
it's not a disgust?
No,
it's not a disgust.
Right. But is that not wanting to be with her simply because you don't want to raise somebody else's kids?
It simply has to do. That's not what I see for my life, and I expect my wife or the partner I'm with to have my kids.
Well, but then maybe that's it.
Yeah. For me, that's what it is.
Maybe that's just
3 kids. You might not even want more kids, or then if we choose to have more kids, now it's 4 and 5 kids. Now I'm gonna have 5 kids. That's not what I saw for my life.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. I got 1 kid, I might dibble and dabble. I won't even say depending on the age of the kids, just depending on. I think it also depends on the baby daddy. Like, I'm not dealing with that. I'm inviting somebody else in. Like, adopting you and your kid, or introducing you into my life is also introducing the father of the kid. So
you're saying it's not really wanting to deal with all of that.
Yeah, it's just that's just not wanting to deal with all of that.
That's fair.
That's just me.
So it sounds like it's just really if it's your prerogative, if you mind dating a woman with kids. I also think it changes once the kids kind of get older. Yeah, like I was
gonna say that.
I think like if you're, let's say in your 50s and you're dating and you have kids with their
that's
grown,
different though. Because
I don't think it matters.
It don't matter at 50 and 60s.
I think once the kids are grown and they're out of the house.
Because you're not trying to have kids and you already raised your family and all that type of stuff. That stage in life is different. So 50 and above, I think that goes out the door.
Yeah.
You prefer them to have their family and everything else because y'all, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're just looking for companionship at that point.
And having fun. Yeah. All right, let's move on. Cool. I like this one. In a relationship, can you truly forgive and forget? And if this is truly possible, how does that look and work? Go ahead. I have my thoughts.
I don't think you can. I don't think you can truly.
The Bible says you're God's girl, like you said.
Yeah.
The Bible says to do what? Anyway, go ahead. I'm just jabbing.
Yeah, no, I don't think you can truly forgive and forget. Like, I think the reality is, like, you can forgive and, move forward. You can forgive and, give your partner grace, right? Because God gives us grace, to your point. But I don't think you ever really forget what happened, because that would be accepting naiveness, right? That would be accepting, operating from a place of, acting like a situation never happened. And that's just simply being naive, and it's not smart. It's not smart. Like, I don't know. That's just my genuine opinion.
I don't think it's humanly possible, like you said. I don't think, the Bible says, does the Bible say forgive and forget? Is that one the Bible? I think it does say that. I'm not even quite sure now.
It says treat your neighbor as yourself.
I don't think it says forgive and forget. Anyway, whoever coined, maybe it was the Bible, correct me if I'm wrong, I should know this. But I don't think it's humanly possible to forget unless you have Alzheimer's or something. Like, you're going to forgive, and half of the time, that's even hard to do.
Yeah.
Truly, truly forgive a person for like a terrible, terrible mistake that they make and hurt that that you've experienced. But if you do get over the first hump, which is forgiveness, kudos to you. You did a hell of a job. The forget part, that takes another level of,
you said that's in the Bible.
That's what Shannon Sharp said. That's in the Bible. I'm not in there. Shannon Sharp is he of the lines. Forgiveness, turning the other cheek. That's what it was. I think you have to, personally me, I forgive. After an argument, I let everything go. I don't forget the argument. I don't forget the points that was made, but I made a conscious decision to not let that affect any of my decisions or actions moving forward.
I think when it comes to marriage, you're always and consistently in a place of forgiveness, right? Like,
if you want it to work for a long time, for sure.
I think when it comes to marriage, or just most relationships, operating from a place of forgiveness, nobody really acknowledges how many times you have to forgive your partner for big or small things in order for a relationship to work.
I think they do. That's why divorce rate is so
like, I'm so tired of forgiving your ass.
Like, real life. That's just what it is.
He said, I'm not doing this shit no more, boy.
It is what it is.
Oh my God.
That's why I picked the word when I said, while I wrote this question is, can you truly forgive and forget? Because I think a lot of people say it first layer.
Yeah, like, oh, I
But
forgive this person.
under the skin, you boiling and scratching.
And I will say the thing is too, depending on circumstances on what you're actually forgiving, sometimes a situation haunts you. And I think that's what's so unfortunate. Like, you can be literally sitting across from the person and like a flashback of whatever happened comes forward. And now you're, angry at this person, or you're hurt, or you're crying, and you're trying to figure this. It's this spiral of emotions, and you're trying to understand where it came from. And it's just grounded in the fact that you're human, that yes, you've chosen to forgive them, but the fact is you're human, and these experiences, they affect you, right?
Yeah, sorry, that was our baby. My babysitter was texting me.
Okay.
I thought forgive and forget. Even in just regular like arguments, right? Like regular relationship shit. Like, that's why I often tell you sometimes, I don't want to talk about the same thing over and over because it pulls off the same Band-Aid.
Yeah.
And you start feeling those same emotions that you felt from the first time we got into the argument. And again, it might not be resolved with you, or you don't have the closure or the, what's the word?
Peace?
The peace of the argument. But when I say that to you, is because I know what type of pain it caused, and I don't want you to keep re-experiencing that same pain. Yeah. And it's a hard thing, right? So like, I don't think it's not humanly possible. We can't, as humans, I don't think we can control, again, I'm wrong, and I'm just thinking, I feel like I'm a proverb or something. You can't really control your feelings. You can control your actions to those feelings. Like, I might do something now that reminds you of something that I did that you were angry about. And it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt you. It's gonna dig you. You might feel like, oh, look at this dude. Blah, blah, blah. But you could control your feeling because we've talked about it.
Yeah.
We have resolved it. And you talk to yourself and you're like, you know what? I gotta give him grace. I gotta give him peace. I think
that's hard, right? Because it's almost like you're consistently like telling you, like you said, to your point, you're trying to tell yourself, calm down in that moment. Whereas I feel like personally, you should own your emotions. That's how I feel. Like, I feel like I
can see that. I'm married to you. I can see how you feel.
Yeah.
And I feel the complete opposite.
Because I think that, as somebody that has struggled with anxiety, a big part of anxiety is not speaking outwardly about your emotion and not owning your emotion, or feeling like you should feel differently than you actually feel. And for me, that's what triggers my anxiety. So I'm very vocal, good, bad, or indifferent about how I feel. Like, I'm not going to bottle in how I feel in that moment, right? And so if that means I'm angry, I'm angry. If that means I'm crying, you see me cry all the time. If that means I'm upset, if I'm happy, if I'm sad, if I'm frustrated, I own those feelings. Because imagine you sitting here and you're almost suffering in silence off of something that your partner did. No, I don't think that's fair. I think that's very one-dimensional and very one-sided. I would rather, if I'm crying in that moment, I would rather you cry and you say, baby, what's wrong? It's like, to be honest, I'm still a little bit hurt about what transpired. That's my truth. And I feel like for me, it's important to always operate in your truth. Like, the only person that's hurting in that moment is myself. And the least you can do in that moment is comfort me.
One more point before we wrap. How much of that is self-work, though? Because I hear what you're saying, and it's kind of like unfair for you to bottle up your emotions, right? But how many times are you going to let this one emotion or this one situation how fixated are you about this one situation that it bothers you over and over and over? And at what point does that...
So we got to wrap things up, right? So but think about it, right? Like,
we're having a therapy session.
Yeah, right. But think about it. Imagine you cheated.
Uh-huh.
You're not going to get over that tomorrow.
I got you. So okay.
You're not going to get over that tomorrow.
I got you.
You understand? Imagine, we're just going to leave it at infidelity. We're just going to leave it there. That you're not going to get over that tomorrow. You're not going to get over that in a week. You're not going to get
over that in a year.
You might not get over it. And that is truth. Yeah, you understand? So yes, if you see me crying in that moment, what's the matter? I'm still really hurt that you put your penis inside of her. Like, yo, that's my truth. I'm so sorry, baby. You want me to get you? Here's a hug. Come, you know what? Let's whatever you feel compelled to do in that moment to be compassionate towards me, you should do that. I shouldn't be the only one suffering in silence off of your actions. I don't think that's fair. I also feel like when it comes to forgiveness, forgiveness is sometimes can lead to vindictiveness, right? Like, are you like you say you forgive, but sometimes people don't actually forgive. They just look for an opportunity to be vindictive towards you.
Got you. Makes sense, guys. No, I get that. We could go on and on. I think I'm gonna bring back this topic on another question that we could go deeper and dive deeper into it. But take us out, baby. Take us out. That was a good one. I think we have a lot more to say, but that's good. Let's save it for the next one.
You know why this one was good? Because he's the type of person, if he likes to have an argument, he just wants to end it there. Me, I'm going to bring it up 5 times until my chest is clear. So that's why I feel like this was a good topic for us to like really dive into, because I do truly believe in it. If anybody is at home struggling with anxiety, own your emotions, own how you feel, write it down, talk to your partner. And if this is your partner, they will understand. Like, he has seen me cry. He has seen me laugh. Create a podcast,
talk about it on talk about it on camera.
Right? Invite the world in to have an opinion. So funny. Thank you guys for tuning in to Couples Chronicles with
your boy Lloyd
and Afiya. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share.
See you guys next time. Peace.